Like, I like Drake's music. I'm a Drake fan.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys that listen to the music and I start to like what's happening in the structure. All right. So, and then there's a point where your voice becomes a hit. And as soon as it comes on, we know, like, we're not struggling to say this is good. But Kendrick got trophies I didn't even know that they had.
Which one?
Like, well,
Pulitzer Prize. Yeah.
What the fuck? How a rapper get that?
Sit down.
I thought it was about stopping the damage that the Super Bowl would do.
Because the Super Bowl. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that the NFL would let Kendrick say certified files out loud.
They would actually, I think that they would be part of the damages.
The drama just got even messier. 50 Cent is stirring the pot again, flipping the script on Kendrick Lamar and throwing his support behind Drake. Yes, you heard that right when his 50 is backing Drake in their ongoing rivalry, and Kendrick isn't holding back. In fact, Kendrick just clapped back in the most savage way, leaving 50 looking all kinds of humiliated. Buckle up, because this beef has everything music, pettiness, and receipts flying everywhere. Let's dive in. Kendrick's unstoppable momentum. Kendrick Lamar is riding high on the success of his latest project, GNX, and the buzz surrounding his upcoming Super Bowl halftime show. His name is everywhere, dominating conversations across the hip-hop scene. While many are celebrating his achievements, others, like 50 Cent, seem determined to dim his shine. But let's talk about 50 Cent for a moment. This isn't just some small-time artist throwing shade. This is a hip-hop legend who helped shape the genre in the early 2000s. So when 50 takes shots, people pay attention. Lately, though, his jabs at Kendrick have been louder, bolder, and frankly, more desperate than ever.
What the f***? You're at the house like this, and you was on fire just a week ago. And now they're acting like, did you stink or something changed about you?
50 Cent has officially joined Team Drake. The long-simmering beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake has divided fans and industry insiders, and now 50 has planted his flag firmly on Drake's side. Not only has he publicly backed Drake, but he's also reportedly been offering behind-the-scenes strategies to take Kendrick down. Spoiler alert, so far it hasn't worked.
Every show was putting like Drake on, Kendrick songs on.
Also, shout out you for clearing.
Oh no, that was
you know what I mean? Shout out you for clearing that song, man. For the special.
That was super
respect.
50 Cent didn't hold back during his recent appearance on Andrew Schultz's Flagrant podcast. Teaming up with Schultz, known for his provocative commentary, 50 launched a pointed critique of Kendrick Lamar, attempting to downplay the rapper's achievements. The two allege that Kendrick's success is manufactured and his influence on hip-hop overhyped, in what appeared to be an effort to undermine his legacy. However, Kendrick's track record tells a different story. His work transcends hit-making. It's art that resonates deeply, sparking meaningful conversations. From addressing racial injustice and identity to exploring personal growth, Kendrick consistently pushes hip-hop's boundaries. Such attempts to discredit his authenticity seem rooted in bitterness, especially when paired with their overpraise of Drake, whom they cast as the true victor in hip-hop's rivalries. This tactic appears to have backfired. Rather than positioning himself as a credible critic, 50 now risks being seen as bitter over Kendrick's unparalleled dominance. Schultz's involvement only amplified the disconnect, further highlighting their failure to grasp Kendrick's cultural and artistic significance. The podcast rant might have aimed to stir controversy, but it instead spotlighted Kendrick's unshakable influence.
Look at Kendrick.
Yo, you can't be 5 years between albums, so we need some food right now.
Yeah.
Drake was a lot of put massive pressure on him to do it. And
so you say take a break.
Yeah, I would watch him. I would just watch him.
Kendrick Lamar's silence speaks louder than anything 50 Cent and Andrew Schultz are saying on the Flagrant podcast. While they're busy creating controversy, Kendrick has chosen a different approach: silence. And honestly, it's the best clapback. Kendrick doesn't need to address their criticisms because his body of work speaks for itself. Whether it's the raw storytelling on Good Kid, MAA The City, his powerful Super Bowl performance, or his ability to command respect from fans and peers alike, Kendrick continues to prove why he remains untouchable. The moment that really set the internet on fire came when 50 prompted Schultz to explain his bizarre, offensive comments about what he wanted to do to Kendrick in response to being called out over whacked-out murals. Instead of apologizing or offering any clarification, Schultz doubled down, turning the moment into a joke and brushing off the backlash as if the hip-hop community wasn't already calling him out for his disrespect. And that's where 50 made things worse. He didn't challenge Schultz. Instead, he hyped up the moment. This only amplified the disrespect. While 50 and Schultz are busy turning their jokes into a spectacle, Kendrick stands tall as the undisputed champion of hip-hop. His work gives a voice to overlooked corners of the culture, and Kendrick isn't rapping for clout or chart dominance. He's pushing the genre forward, offering a blueprint for authenticity and innovation that sets him apart from the spectacle around others.
Like in Drake's case, because of the success, he's feeling the backlash of his success. Right? Everything that he said he did, they did. In that lawsuit, they did it.
What do you mean?
Like Universal Music Group,
reducing the price of the
everything
songs.
that he did is a part of marketing.
I feel that too.
They
They do it for everybody.
Yes,
They probably did it for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
50 Cent's actions in the interview revealed his clear allegiance. By aligning with Schultz's disrespectful comments, he effectively sides with Drake and his camp's narrative, no matter how flawed it is. A telling moment came when 50 and Schultz shifted to the ongoing feud between Drake and Kendrick. 50 perpetuated the tired narrative that Kendrick's anger toward Drake stems from jealousy, claiming Drake's dominance made Kendrick bitter. However, this argument falls apart under scrutiny. Kendrick has repeatedly proven that he's not just on Drake's level. He surpassed him in significant moments. Take 2017, for example. Damn didn't only dominate the charts, but also earned Kendrick a Pulitzer Prize, a historic achievement that Drake has yet to match. This alone shows that Kendrick's influence and success go far beyond petty rivalry, standing as a testament to his unparalleled artistry and cultural impact. Kendrick Lamar's influence extends far beyond streaming numbers. He's creating cultural moments. One thing 50 Cent made clear during his flagrant podcast appearance is that he's still holding a grudge over Kendrick's iconic Control verse. When Kendrick dropped those bars, calling out nearly every rapper in the game was a challenge.
I do feel like I went through a portion of what he's experienced.
When you were on top, everybody wants to take a shot.
Yeah, and that, look, you see how he laughs at everybody?
You had the list.
That don't feel like 50 Cent?
Oh, shit.
You see what I'm
Fast forward to now, and 50 Cent is still salty. During the interview, he tried to downplay Kendrick's impact, calling him a media darling, suggesting his success is a PR stunt, rather than the result of his undeniable talent and cultural
I'm
relevance.
ready to hate on Drake.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're always ready to hate on who's on top. And
Yes.
now Kendrick, if Kendrick's on top, there's going to be people ready to hate on him, and he's never been in that position.
Nah, you know,
He always been the underdog.
but he's been a media dog.
Here's the kicker. During the peak of the Kendrick versus Drake feud, it wasn't Kendrick who had the media's backing. Nearly every major hip-hop outlet predicted Drake would come out on top, with shows like The Breakfast Club hyping up Drake's response tracks as if they had already won the war. 50 Cent's attempt to rewrite this narrative is a bitter effort to switch history. What makes his comments even worse is the black revisionism. According to 50, Kendrick has had every advantage handed to him, while Drake was the underdog fighting against the odds. But let's be real, Drake has been a media and industry favorite for years. From cosigns by music industry giants to being the face of streaming dominance, Drake has had no shortage of advantages. So when 50 tries to spin this narrative, it reeks of bitterness. What's even more disrespectful is 50 mocking Kendrick's Pulitzer Prize win, a groundbreaking achievement that brought hip-hop to a new level of cultural legitimacy. Clowning the Pulitzer is a disservice to the genre. Kendrick's Damn wasn't just an album, it was a cultural moment. By becoming the first rapper to win a Pulitzer Prize, Kendrick didn't just break barriers for himself, he opened doors for the entire hip-hop community, proving that the genre could stand proudly alongside any other art form.
Had its first performance or recording in the United States during the year. Awarded to Damn by Kendrick Lamar, a virtuosic song collection.
Because I didn't even know what that was. When he got that one, I was like, oh, what's that? Like, I seen.
Mocking Kendrick's achievement only highlights how out of touch 50 Cent has become. Instead of celebrating the fact that hip-hop is now recognized on such prestigious platforms, 50's comments suggest he wants to keep the genre confined to outdated stereotypes. One of the most absurd claims 50 made during his rant was that Kendrick replaced Drake at the center of the industry because Kendrick's music is supposedly less authentic to the streets. According to 50, Kendrick's broader appeal has come at the cost of hip-hop's integrity. But let's break this down. Kendrick's Good Kid, M.A.A. City is one of the most authentic storytelling albums in rap history. It offers a raw, unfiltered glimpse into his life in Compton, filled with vivid narratives that resonate with anyone who's faced hardship. Now compare that to Drake, whose music
Unified by its vernacular authenticity that offers affecting vignettes capturing the complexity of modern African American life. Congratulations, Kendrick Lamar.
50 Cent's criticism is the height of hypocrisy. What makes his defense of Drake even more contradictory is that Drake has been accused of diluting the genre with formulaic hits and strategic collaborations, while Kendrick uses his platform to push boundaries and address real issues. Drake has often been criticized for prioritizing chart success over cultural impact, yet 50 paints Kendrick as the villain, claiming he's compromising hip-hop's integrity. This is a classic case of projection, where the very thing 50 accuses Kendrick of is more fitting for the artist he's defending.
Because they'd rather think that you're the one stopping them than they ain't shit.
Oh,
But the reality is they ain't shit.
Yeah, no, you're in the way.
I blame the system. I blame
So why is 50 Cent really so pressed? It all seemed to stem from Kendrick's role in reshaping hip-hop's legacy. When Kendrick was chosen to perform at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show, it was a clear sign that he was the torchbearer for Dr. Drew's legacy. For 50, who built much of his career under Drew's mentorship, this was likely a bitter pill to swallow. To make matters worse, 50 wasn't even originally invited to perform at the event. It was only after Eminem pushed for his inclusion that 50 got a spot, and even then, his presence felt like an afterthought compared to Kendrick's central performance. This moment seems to have cemented 50's resentment toward Kendrick, who he likely sees as the new face of Drew's empire. 50's resentment is rooted in the past, and it appears to stem from his inability to accept that Kendrick represents something he can never achieve. Kendrick is over a decade into his career and continues to evolve, refining his craft and cementing his status among the greatest MCs of all time. Meanwhile, 50's prime essentially ended after his third album. This isn't shade, it's simply the reality of how things played out. While Get Rich or Die Trying remains iconic, 50's career never regained the same momentum. The Massacre and Get Rich or Die Trying were undeniably iconic, but by the time Curtis came around, 50's music wasn't hitting the same way. And that's okay, not every artist can sustain their prime forever. The problem lies in 50's refusal to acknowledge that Kendrick's success at the top isn't just a result of luck. It's due to his constant evolution and unwavering dedication to his craft. Kendrick's career trajectory has been a masterclass in artistic growth, from the raw storytelling of Good Kid, M.A.A.D. City to the politically charged brilliance of To Pimp a Butterfly and the introspective masterpiece that is Damn. Kendrick has consistently pushed hip-hop to new heights. He's unafraid to take risks, challenge himself, and break new ground in the genre. In contrast, 50 has spent much of the last decade leaning on his legacy instead of building on it. That's where the bitterness stems from. Watching Kendrick thrive and evolve in ways 50 couldn't or didn't must be tough for someone who once ruled the rap game. Why won't 50 give Kendrick his flowers? The core issue is simple. 50 likely won't credit Kendrick because deep down, Kendrick represents what 50 couldn't achieve. Kendrick has transcended the genre, becoming not just a rapper, but a cultural icon. He's performing at Super Bowls, winning Pulitzer Prizes, and shaping the conversation around hip-hop in ways that 50 never did. Let's not forget that 50 had his shot at evolving. He had a platform, the resources, and the talent, but instead of growing with the times, he doubled down on the same formula, and eventually, the audience moved on. Kendrick, on the other hand, continues to innovate, adapt, and leave an indelible mark on the culture. As for the future of this feud, let's not underestimate Kendrick. While he may be silent now, his legacy speaks volumes. History has shown that when Kendrick Lamar addresses something, he does it in a way that leaves no room for interpretation. If 50 Cent continues poking the bear, it wouldn't be surprising to see Kendrick drop a bar or an entire track that completely dismantles 50's argument and puts an end to this feud once and for all. And honestly, if Kendrick decides to respond, it could be game over for 50. While 50's trolling might grab him some attention in the short term, Kendrick's responses have a way of sticking and resonating long after the track drops. What do you think? Do you believe 50's criticisms of Kendrick have any merit, or is this just another case of a former heavyweight struggling to accept the rise of a new champion? If you were Kendrick, how would you handle this situation? Would you respond to 50 or keep letting your success do the talking? And finally, do you think 50's bitterness stems from his own career struggles, or is there something deeper going on? Maybe a personal rivalry or